Evening, love. How are you doing tonight? I'm not too bad myself. I'm Isobel, by the way. If you need anything, just holler for me. Can I get you anything? What do I recommend? Well, personally, I'm quite fond of the cider we got here, but it's not quite your style, don't worry. The whiskey is strong and the ale is plentiful. Yeah, I think we still got a couple of rooms vacant tonight. No offense, but you do look pretty worn out. The fellow behind the bar has our book, so you can chat with him. Probably want to do that sooner rather than later. We've got quite a crowd tonight. Well, I do know that some nobleman or something was holding a competition recently. Some kind of hunt for a big beast. At least, that's all I could tell from the gossip around here. I like to think that I know everything that goes on in town, but everyone's stories were so different. One day it was a bounty for a living chimera. The next day they were looking for a manticore, dead or alive. You seem like the adventuring type. Yeah, well, plenty of people like you come through our doors. I've even had to bandage some of them up myself. They're so fresh off of battle. Where do your specialties lie? Really? That's fascinating. Sounds to me like you're a master of your craft. Oh, would you excuse me for a moment? Oi! You! Yeah, you, half-orc! We told you not to come here again! Oh no, don't try to pull that on me. I'll recognize your ugly mug the second you stepped in here. You're not welcome. You smashed half our tables to splinters and nearly killed one of the barkeeps the last time you were here. Get out. Oh, I know I look like any other little half-elf girly. But you see this club I keep on me? I'm not afraid of using it. The boss don't like it when I do, but that hasn't stopped me yet. You don't want my trusty friend bashing your skull in now, do you? Didn't think so. Now get lost! Sorry about that. Oh, we've had our fair share of troublemakers come through our doors. Fights aren't uncommon here, but thankfully they don't happen every night. Oh, you mean me standing up to him? When dealing with big guys like that, you've got to be fearless. Make it look like you know what you're doing, and don't waver. Lots of guys will second-guess themselves when they see that. I've got plenty of tricks up my sleeve. Necessary stuff you have to know to be a good barmaid. Yeah, I've kind of always been destined to work at this tavern. Mum started working here well before I was born and kept working until she passed. Yeah, there was some sickness that went through the town a couple of years ago. Took lots of people. But since by then I was old enough to work, I took over her spot. Thankfully, Mum taught me plenty before I started. Of course, I like it here, but when you stay in the same town your whole life, you've been surrounded by adventurers for as long as you remember, of course you're going to want to leave and join them. Nearly everyone that comes through these doors has great tales about them. Fighting evil, finding magic, saving maidens. They make it look so effortless. If goddamn cats can become heroes, then why can't a little half-elf girl like me do the same? Never quite understood tabaxis. Why don't I? I'm stuck here, serving you lot. I barely make enough to cover my rent with this job. I don't have time to go to wizarding school or to a temple to become a cleric. Hell, I've never even been out of the city, so I don't have much of a chance of being a druid. All I've got is this club to knock drunken idiots around with. I've considered making myself available for other services once my shifts are done for the night. Oh, well, thank you. That's quite flattering coming from a handsome adventurer like yourself. Well, I do have a bit of a confession to make. But please, don't tell anyone, especially my boss. Well, come here. How much do you know about people making pacts with otherworldly patrons? No, I promise it wasn't reckless or anything like that. Well, about a month ago, there was an incident. It was the afternoon and everything was still relatively quiet. Next thing we knew, this group of people crashed into the tavern and they were carrying an unconscious man. They said they had been attacked or something. I don't know, it all happened so suddenly. I can't quite remember it clearly. Anyway, this poor fella was bleeding out, so we cleared away some space for him and I started tending to him. Mum was a pretty good healer. She taught me everything she knew. Yes, I promise I'm getting to it. By some miracle, I was able to stabilize him and eventually nursed him back to health. He and his party went on their way. And for a day or two, I didn't really think about it. Then, as I was cleaning up by myself after we closed one night, the room suddenly became really very bright. Like someone put the sun in the same room as me. Then a voice started talking. Turns out that fella I helped out was an Azamar. Yeah, a descendant of angels or celestials or something like that. This voice was that guy's ancestor and wanted to thank me. So we made a deal. I got the ability to use magic, and I promised to use that magic to help protect and aid people. As soon as the sun came up, I ran for the markets and spent my whole life savings on some equipment. Basic stuff really. Cheap leather armor, sling, a couple of daggers. Why haven't I left yet? I don't know. Waiting for the right moment, I guess. Still don't feel quite ready to leave yet. I grew up here. I almost feel like I owe it to this place or something. And there's plenty of people here I can take care of. Plus, I'm not that strong magically or physically. About the most I can do with magic is conjure a spectral hand in the air, make myself some ice armor, and burn somebody with light from above. And despite the club and all, I'm not very strong. All I can do is give someone a bump on the head. Now, see, what I really want is a crossbow. Yeah, I'd love to pin some monster or bad guy to the wall, seeing the bolts sticking out of them. Know that I was able to really hurt someone bigger and scarier than me. But they cost something like 25 gold pieces, and I don't have that kind of money. I'm sorry. What? Well, yeah, I did say I was planning on offering my company to others for a price. Well, the thing is, I've never actually laid with someone before. Of course I find you attractive. Really? Are you sure? That'd be more than enough to get a crossbow and plenty of bolts too. No, I wouldn't just do it for that reason alone. I took a bit of a liking to you as soon as you came in. I may have even called dibs on serving you tonight. One second. Amalia! You alright if I finish up early tonight? Don't give me that look. Thank you. Well, right then, adventurer. I think it's time you introduce me to your world.